What's up? What's up? What's up? This is your girl Yuta K Best, and you are watching and or listening to Hello Random Radio, where positive energy lives. Today, we should be having two guests. My guest, who is already here, Mr. Elijah Smith, is the founder and executive director of Shift nonprofit here in Denver, Colorado, and the Empower 24 National Wealth and Wellness Expo. And we should have Mr. Michael President Anderson, founder of MPAC Solutions and Crypto, jumping on a little bit later. How are you doing, Elijah?
I'm doing well, doing well. Glad to be here with you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So thank you for coming. It looks like President is jumping in now.
In one moment, I'm having my video up. One moment.
Okay. Awesome. So while he is working on his video, can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do and why you do it?
Yes, ma'am, sure. So my name is Elijah Smith. Born in Lexington, Kentucky. Founded Shift and Empower in the year 2023, beginning of the year 2023. We are a mental wellness nonprofit looking to help people increase their well-being using holistic approaches. And then we have Empower the Wealth and Wellness Expo that we will be launching on January 15th and 16th at RealWorks in Denver, Colorado. It's our first inaugural event where we're having some major energy coming in from all over the country. Some powerful speakers speaking on topics from holistic approaches to how to build generational wealth using fintech companies and financial literacy. So yeah. Oh, and we'll be doing the Black Economic Forum on Sunday, being hosted by Michael President Anderson. And he will be hosting Billions in My 30s. And so I'll let my brother tell you a little bit about him and what he's got coming for you for Billions in My 30s.
Well, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much for having us. First and foremost,
Of course.
I'm wishing you a beautiful, blessed end of 2023. And honestly, it's such an honor to be coming back to Denver for Martin Luther King Day weekend and to be tapping in with the Empower 2024 movement and our brother here at Cha and the whole shift culture movement with Billions in My 30s and Impact the World, which is really focused on making access to that American dream real to us and our people in our community, using culture and capital to change our communities. Matter of fact, can we get a culture? Can I get a culture from you, sis?
A culture?
Culture, capital. Can I get a capital?
Culture, capital,
community change.
Community and change, the four C's.
Really about. That's what it's really about. Honestly, just being able to use this hip hop and the music and the gifts that the Most High has given to me and given to us as a people, and multiplying that with the speed at which we influence culture with capital and connecting. Deliberate and intentional, connecting our culture and our capital to change our communities. And as an artist, I've been focused on moving around the world and using my platform to really amplify and create policies, legislation, and technology that enables our businesses to access capital with greater proliferation and speed. In this event in Martin Luther King Day weekend, I'm sure that we're standing on the shoulders of the ancestors by being deliberate and intentional about delivering the best from a performative standpoint, with the deliberate, intentional energy and effort to gathering the capital and resources necessary to really build institutions in our community. I mean, honestly, I was listening to the brother Dr. Umar talk about hip hop being a lot around for 50 years, but us not really having no hospitals and no real infrastructure that accompanies and parallels the growth of the culture. And that's really what we're seeking to do with Billions in My 30s. And I'm grateful for the holistic healthcare benefits that our brother Elijah and the whole Park Hills and Shift Culture movement is on, and looking forward to amplifying that with the hip hop and with the financial technology.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I definitely I want to come back and talk more about the Wealth and Wellness Expo, but this show is called Hello Random Radio because I definitely like to flow with what comes up.
Hella
And I
random.
was dope. Yes, and I was looking at your IG earlier and I noticed that you had that you're also a poet, you know, and that you had posted a poem recently where you were talking about, you know, some infrastructure and about perhaps the fact that your grandfather was a banker who helped to start a hospital. Is that true or?
Oh no, not my grandfather. I was saying about one of my white boys that I know. That's my grandfather. You know, matter of fact, he's I just came back from a church that he helped build in Plainfield, New Jersey. That's a
Okay.
community. My grandfather, he was an entrepreneur in the janitorial services and in the what's the word I'm using, and like the industrial building out like carpets and whatnot, and floor sanding and like helping create construction. But and he definitely motivates me and inspires me. But I said my banker grandfather made billions, funded a hospital. He told me show them folks no money whenever possible. A trust
Yeah.
harder than the trust, owner the trust harder the assets. 10 G's bought a hide the money packet. They need to charge niggas for classes. I put my daughter on payroll. She my beneficiary. Raw shot protection forever. We gonna be living free. Play so smart. Trump asked me to run a program. MP Ultra twist culture like slow jams. These niggas slow jams. My bar's frozen. Let it go. You have a panic attack trying to walk in my shoes. That's what I said.
That is what you said. And I have a lot of questions just based
Go
upon
ahead, ask
those
away.
few bars.
I
I
might have
guess
my
the
daughter
first
come in
thing,
here. We might have a guest appearance from my daughter, man, from my little girl. But
well, she is definitely welcome. That's the best thing about Twitch is that it's real life, in my opinion. Anyway, so how long have you been a poet?
I've been full time 10 years. But also, I mean, my like the poetry, like that's been in my heart. I knew I was going to rap since I was 5 years old. So,
Okay.
decades has been in my heart and in my spirit. But this Billions in My 30s album, I've been working on this album, and I don't really release like music that often because it has to be real. Like I wasn't about to drop Billions in My 30s until we verified that we moving billions and that we impacting billions of lives. Uh, so so um so the long and short of it, I've been working on a specific project for a couple years, and it's really, the concept of the album is making policy, making laws, and having crypto and ways from which people can buy into the growth of the music and earn wealth alongside of it. So as much as I've been a poet, most of my life, I haven't really had the financial technology, the tools, and the infrastructure, and let alone having an investment bank partnership like the one we have with Republic and having multi-platinum artists like my brother Mims, wanted to have one of the biggest songs in the last couple of decades. Having them a part of this project really makes it special and has really taken us to the next level. And it's really been in the last, I would say, in the 2020s is when I really got serious with the crypto in like 2017, 28, and went all in. And now I'm at a point where we've really been able to combine the finance technology and the hip hop in a cutting edge pioneering way. And to be honest with you, sis, like our people, with so many of us is gifted with poetry. We was listening to Young, Gifted and Black on the way home from church, and
Hmm.
I can remember just reciting that and being inspired by the great orators like Nina Simone and the Paul Robesons and all of the great people in the culture inspired me so much. So it's really been in the spirit, in the soul, and the ancestry for how many millennia. But now we have the tools to really institutionalize with our poetry and impact that reverberates and lives and creates wealth and opportunity for ourselves, our family, our communities, and the kingdom. And that's really what I see the highest utilization of the poetry for is inspire, uplift, entertain, and also have something to show. Not just like I got rich off of XYZ music, rap, whatever, which is a lot of the culture, but I gave you a way from which to get wealthy alongside me, and I gave you the tools from which to transform your family and community life beyond just entertainment. And I think that's what they're scared of in Hollywood, and that's really like hasn't been incentivized. But that's what MPAC's doing. That's what I'm excited to be doing with Billions in My 30s, the movement, and what I'm excited to be bringing in Denver. You know, it's going to be epic, legendary. Just this confluence. You know, and we going straight from there to Switzerland. And matter of fact, when I got connected with our brother with the brother Ja, we talked about how I went to Davos last year during the World Economic Forum. I got to speak and perform at some of the biggest, most exclusive venues in the world in front of some of the biggest leaders in the world. And what I realized is, it's going to take us and our generation of Afro-Indigenous kings and queens to really be focused on those that at least have the access and to make it, taking the tools and the knowledge and bringing that into concrete ways in which we can enfranchise our people. And it seems to be a lack of people, a dearth of people in the culture doing that. It's a lot of I got rich, you got rich. I got rich, I'm better than you. And not necessarily, infrastructure building that's gonna really restore pride and dignity to our people. And that's really the focus. And hope I know I kind of give you a long answer because I can tell you I've been rapping my whole life and I've been writing my whole life, but I feel like we manifest in a way that's divine and that's been millenniums in the workings now.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I appreciate this. I definitely don't have any time. And as far as like coming up with clips and things to use later, my opinion is the more we record now, the more we'll have to use later.
Can I ask
So
you a question?
definitely, for sure.
How many tats you got? Seems like you got some things going on.
I got a lot. I have no idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, at least like 10, 11.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a lot of time going on.
We might get some Billions in My 30s tats. We might get some Impact the World tats when we go out to Denver. You never know. We might have to tap
I heard that. Well, thank you again for being here. Shout out to the homie DJ Low Tech is in the chat. And he says that we are freezing up a little bit, but it
the
keeps
devil
coming
can't
back.
stop us.
No
Devil
worries.
ain't stopping us. We rebuke the spirit of the freezing.
Yes. I mean, and also StreamYard is dope because, no matter how it looks now, it's recording on from each of your devices. So when I go back to put this on YouTube later, it's not going to be that way. I do want to ask Low Tech, if you're still there, how is the sound? Because that's really what I'm worried about is whether or not the sound is good. Black and proud, Ashe. Alrighty, so to get to attack some of those things that you were saying, and I was going to ask you about Davos because I noticed that you entitled your talk here in Denver as Black Davos.
Yeah, you know what I really wanted to do is if you think about how like the World Economic Forum really jumped off, it's all white guys getting together in the mountains, and then they setting an agenda for the world. That's really been a history of it, and I'm sure it's gotten a lot more. It's gotten more diverse. Like in looks, there are some more melanated people, but who knows if they're really driving home the agenda of transforming the world in a sustainable way. So my thought is like we got to build a FUBU of economic conferences, right? And we all we need, and I want to be frank. Like when I went out to Davos, I got the opportunity to headline last year the SDG Gala, the Arabian Nights big exclusive parties, and I realized the access that we have and to be able as artists as the artist, as president, as a speaker, as an entrepreneur with impact to speak in the most influential venues in the world. We really need to connect with other like-minded people that's serious about our community because to be frank, sis, this year and through the years I've been to dozens of countries, right? Can't even count them all, right? A lot. Been many of the places I wanted to go in my life I've been able to go. And what I realized is that our people is really living disgraced here. I think it's a disgrace like how we living here, to be frank. And the lack of the all the promises that America has made to her children and denied to us. And so unfortunately I've seen just a lack of Black leadership really be willing to address head on and invest and make themselves uncomfortable. And I wanted to do that, and I'm grateful for this time we have in Denver. It's always a good time in Denver, and obviously they got the legalized medicine. So, we're going to be able to vibrate on another level and just really be able to manifest and set a new order for our communities. Because look, somebody going to set it. If we don't do it, we either at the table or on the menu. And we got to build our own table. And all we need is us, for the time being, to really be confident and look each other in the eyes and have these tough conversations about transforming and let's make content and have a fellowship in that transcends the test of time and make American and world history for the kingdom. That's what time it is. Fervently believe it. I fervently believe it.
I hear that. And this is kind of tangential, but this is something that's been on my mind kind of all morning. And I agree, with much of everything that you said. And I'm wondering, do you think that capitalism is really going to be the way in the West, for long? Or do you see that this system is kind of destroying itself?
I see that. I definitely see that. These Western imperial hegemonic institutions seem to be fading in prominence, and I spend a lot of time in Near Eastern and Far Eastern communities, and also in the global South, and I can see the proliferation of different cultures. However, you could drive yourself crazy. I remember I was on a in capitalism, a transform from capitalism next level years ago, and what did that get me? Everybody just looking at me mad. Like, look, when you really that enlightened, when you trying to create new paradigms and transform, I feel like our people are so materialistic, and we live in such a materialistic culture. People so far gone at, unless you really icy and stunting, they can't even receive the wisdom and information because you just seem like you're not up. You seem like a hater. You seem like you broke. You know what I mean? So like their minds is so conditioned to like you gotta be above them for them to even receive the new way. Like that's just the reality. So it don't even really matter. Of course, if I had my way, we would live in an evolved model in which merit completely ruled the day. But that's the order the order of this society is so far gone from merit and this oligarchy, plutocracy in which, so few control so much that the game is so rigged that I don't even think we've ever really seen capitalism. We've always seen like we'll handicap us, like Black indigenous people, or handicap whoever they want to be at a disadvantage. We've never seen a free market. We've only seen handicap those that we wish to exploit. So I think in theory, like the concept of free markets work, but we've never seen it. We've always been handicapped. We've never been participating in the free market. Matter of fact, I got a feeling if as resourceful and innovative and resilient as even the people on this call that I've gotten to know are, knowing myself, knowing my family, and meeting my brother Jai, like, bro, if everything was truly free and equal, we would dominate. Come on, you know that, we know that, and they know that, and that's why the game stays rigged. I think this.
To piggyback off Prez, man, it's like at the end of the day, we gotta have we gotta understand that capitalism is a game. There's a system that's ahead, and if we don't understand financial literacy and how money works, and understand currency exchange, and understand how to invest, then we will never be able to be on the same playing field. Things will never be equal. We will always be extorted because of our lack of education. So I believe that to answer your question, is there a new, is capitalism dead? I don't think capitalism is dead. I think it's being resurrected. But we need to make sure that we're educated as we move into this new resurrection of financial tech companies and understand that we have a new up-to-date financial system that is here. Let's learn how to use it. So that way we can lift each other up. We don't have to rely on the government. We don't have to rely on banks. We can go person to person. We are liberated now. So at that point, let's take advantage. You know what I mean? We got the shackles off.
The revolution will not be televised, but it just might be live streamed.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So
I hear that.
You hear that?
I do hear that. Dope. Yeah, and I definitely don't think it's dead. It's obviously not dead, but I do think that, this system has created something that is absolutely not sustainable and that is going to implode. Shout out to Dreddy SRS in the chat who says facts.
Can I just ask you? I know it's about us and what we doing, but I gotta ask you, like, when did you wake up? Like, when was your enlightening moment to which you really got into a standpoint of wanting to do the work that you're doing?
Man, well, I feel like I have awakenings like every other day. But I can say that the beginning was in 2008. I was a software engineer, and I just got to the place where, the quote unquote American dream. I was making 150,000, driving a BMW, had the expensive apartment. Me and my son are traveling all over the world, but I wasn't happy. And so I couldn't tell him college, job, family when that didn't work for me. I had to leave and figure out what was going to make me happy. And 15 years later, I'm just now understanding, that I need more than I need any X number of dollars. I need my sovereignty, and I noticed that you have hashtag sovereign on your Instagram, and I wonder, how much of that is about a financial way of being and how much of that is a mental state.
I would say it's I mean, until the finances come in, it's almost exclusively mental. But I would say that obviously they go hand in hand, right? Because similarly in 2008, I graduated Harvard College. I was working in investment banking. To many people's eyes, I'm living that quote unquote right, like dream, right? Like you living in your expensive apartment, you whipping whatever you whipping, you taking the vacations, you got the job that people like. It looks good on paper. You got the degree. It looks good on paper, and then I'm like, man, I look myself in the mirror somewhere now, and I'm like, man, I don't even recognize myself.
Mhm.
I don't even love who I'm becoming. I don't even love who I become. And it's taken me a lot of time and a lot of work to look in the mirror and be like, man, you that guy. You know what I mean? You that nigga king. It's taken a process. It's taken a process, quite frankly. But that
I
being
mean,
said,
and what do you think that you did to help you get there?
I think I unplugged from this. First off, like the whole thing, growing your hair out, right? I cut it a lot now too, but just the whole process of like unlearning and detaching myself from those quite frankly white Western hegemonic imperialist agenda, and then seeking my spiritual highest purpose, first and foremost, like understanding my ancestry and my family's history, like healing a lot of the brokenness in my in like in the family, and then pursuing the most high. And I'm still on my faith walk, but I would say just getting confident and just getting confident in the most high. And it's still a work in progress, but I would say that leaving working at Wall Street, I left New York, moved to Atlanta to focus on my music, just pursuing what I wanted to do, creating. I mean, it was a bumpy road, and especially when I really like started chasing after the Most High, it got even bumpier. Quite frankly, I felt like I lost everything the deeper I got in the spirit. But funny enough, 2008, like you talk about, and then 15 years later, I would say that looking back, just pursuing that highest ideal system, that highest high, and that light, that North Star, that navigating principle, that Most High, um, pursuing the Most High, right? Just Allahu Akbar, Hallelujah, Ashe, all that, and getting in tune with the highest high.
Yeah.
It's just, and you know what else it is? I would say like that vision that you have when you're young, and that reckless childish ambition, um, not necessarily abandoning that, but scrubbing away the dirt that's on top of that vision, that we have when we're kids, that we can do anything, keeping that vision and just like it gets tattered and dirty, and just finding the tools from the physical standpoint, from a mental standpoint, pushing myself physically, financially, and just investing and believing in myself has, like you said, taken me around the world, and I'm confident that 2024 we building a level of generational wealth and abundance that transcends the test of times and will have a kingdom level impact in this life and beyond.
Ashe. Ashe. And I agree, and I guess maybe that's not necessarily the right word, agreement, but, I definitely had to go through the same thing. I and I probably am still in a process of letting go to an over attachment to the material, because and perhaps I'm willing to accept that it's an opinion and not a fact. But what I think is that to really find your whole place in spirit, you cannot be overly attached to the material. You know,
Right.
and I'm just at that place now where I am so solid in spirit that the material is starting to come back, you
Right.
know,
No,
and it'll be in its right place.
sis, I just gotta concur. I'm sorry, I know I'm dominating a little bit. I just gotta concur. It's like it's that process, because I can remember when I was like 108% spiritual, like, and I'm running marathons, my body, everything is just right, like, in my spirit, I'm praying, meditating like 5, 6 times a day, and then I looked up and I ain't had no money. You know what I mean? And then and versus like, I'm working on Wall Street, I'm working investment banking to like but I'm living a lifestyle that's not holy. And then the process now being 15 years later, like when we stabilized a bit in my new normal, as an entrepreneur, by the grace of God, my new normal is like, I was looking at like my year-end list, and I was like, man, I went most of the places, many of the places I wanted to go in my life. I've been and just looking at my list of like the things that I need to do, just being able to approach it and being like, yo, confident, yo, I'm gonna do the things I want to do in my life. Not like the fear of like, will I, or like, can I, but just knowing that like things take time. It may not be the way I want it to be, but like that level of confidence and resoluteness, I think it comes from when you traverse the mud and we traverse the oceans, and when you've more than conquered, that you realize like, look, everybody that started with you may not finish with you. It may be a rocky road. It may be colder, longer, harder. But we're gonna get everything that's promised and everything that we're destined to get. Nothing can stop that. And just being grateful and enjoying the little things, because just everybody on this call, we know we're gonna run it up. We know we're gonna run it up. It may not be like on a timing that we envision, but we definitely gonna run it up, because we are to run up, like just this level of enlightenment and this level of progression. It's just is really super. Is really just I thank God for the opportunity to connect with y'all, and I'm really excited to meet everybody in person and to just see what the Most High do. And see what it do, see what the love do, see what God do when we all connect.
Yes, yes. Ashe.
And
Shout out to
I
go
want
ahead,
to add on
Elijah.
to that. I want to add on to that because at the end of the day, there's a development on the internal that needs to be done when it comes to the meditation, to being able to take care of yourself, to be able to make sure that your system is correctly detoxing, that your system's able to get the right nutrients that it needs. This is the internal work that's needed. The
Yeah.
correct habits, you know what I mean? Make sure you're establishing the correct habits with your environment. This is super important. But on top of that, we have the external. We can't just be the poor spiritualist who doesn't understand how financial literacy works, who doesn't understand
Amen.
how exchange works, who doesn't understand how resources work and how we can allocate different services and be able to solve problems. Because at the end of the day, this term entrepreneurship, at the end of the day, entrepreneurs are nothing more than somebody who solves a problem. You know what I mean? And so that's what we need more of. We need more of that. People who have done the internal work, but also can solve problems in the community.
Right.
And so, once that's done, we have a completely new infrastructure, or really unity within the community. Which is what we need. That's what we need. That's what we've never had as Black Americans. Is educated, unified people.
Ashe. Ashe. So I'm going to shout out Natasha of Triggered Future. She is in the chat saying that she loved this conversation. I think I'll be talking to Natasha on January 6th. Thank you for being here, sis.
January 6th, that's a heavy date.
Why?
There's a lot of things to January 6th. That's a famous date at this point. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I heard January 6th.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Tell me about it.
Oh,
It's not ringing no bells.
that's the whole Trump and them and trying to overthrow America, whatever they was trying to do, whatever they was doing, raiding the Capitol, that
Did you all hear
whatever
about the
foolishness.
disease X?
Huh?
There's a new disease X.
What's disease X?
It's the new thing that they're saying from the WHO. They're saying that it's the new, pandemic that's about to hit.
Man, I ain't no disrespect to that, bro. We gonna have our own. I would say during the pandemic, that's when, from a business standpoint, things got better than ever. When everybody was scared, it's a statement on Wall Street. Like when there's blood in the street, when everybody was scared, we doubled down, we focused. So whatever coming, we gonna double down and we gonna triple down and we focus. And now we got each other and like-minded people, and we got this technology, right? So as somebody that's been all in on building the finance technology tools and investing in the spirit, now y'all coming with the plant medicine, and you have your own resources. From your engineering perspective, there's no limits. I'm done putting a cap or a limit on what I even expect at this point, or what I think the real purpose of us gathering here. So I think in Denver, my goal and my mission is to have a multi-billion human quadrillion-dollar macro impact. We building trillion-dollar companies. We impacting billions of lives, and we the new world leaders in the new world paradigms. That's all I got to say.
I hear that, and I appreciate that positivity and agree, that belief system is the most important thing. And I have no fear of any of these diseases that they're trying to push. And I'm not fucking with any of the vaccines that they try to push. And I'm going to be just fine. But I imagine you brought that up for a reason, Elijah. Is there something interesting in that, or something that resonates with you about that? Or what makes you bring that up?
For me, I believe that there's a such thing called propaganda, and it's been used over and over and over. It's the oldest form of being able to control people. If you can get them fearful, then you can control them. So therefore, when I mention the things about disease X, that's the WHO saying this. I'm saying this is for a big distraction. This is for a chance for people to be fearful, to not be unified, to not gather together, to not consult and see about how we can utilize these new systems that are being in place. But this is a distraction. So in my mind, continue to develop your understanding of yourself, how your body works, how you can remineralize your body, how you can get better access to food, how you can increase your health and increase your immune system to make sure you stay protected from any type of what do you say? Health warfare, you know what I mean? To protect yourself from that, as well as continue to develop the understanding of the new system that's being implemented. This is key.
Brother, could you speak on? I don't know if you could speak on what you're doing from a research perspective with the university out there, because I think that's one of the things that inspires me, man, in terms of the future of healthcare and the future of plant-based medicines and the work that you're doing.
Yeah, so we're doing research with the University of Colorado, showing how psilocybin helps with PTSD, anxiety, depression, eating disorders, racial traumas in the Black and Brown communities. And so this is something that's huge, because it's giving us a chance to really do the internal work that's needed, as well as show us how to elevate our consciousness and the ability to adapt to our environment and to the things that we've been through.
Yeah, and I just want to tap on that, because I grew up in a family that was in healthcare. Come here. It'll be on. There's my daughter. Now she's running in. She's running out. She's saying Paw Patrol is not on. But what I was saying is that I think the future of healthcare is in the plant-based medicines, and I'm really excited to make this mainstream and demystify and destigmatize what it looks like to be a successful brother that utilizes the plant-based spirits and plant-based tools, and not just, I think growing up we would have termed this, it would have looked like somebody was a drug addict, or like a, you know what I mean, like a fiend, or some of the terms that might have get thrown at us if we was doing this like 20 years ago, even 10 years ago. But I think as it becomes more and more mainstream, bringing this to and owning how this meets our community it's a gold mine. It's important. It's a spiritual gold mine. It is a real gold mine, and we have to do the work to ensure that we control how these tools reach our communities. And that's one of the things I'm really excited about in Denver and in beyond. It's saying, look, I use these medicines and I'm successful. I'm as educated. I'm as successful as a brother can be, and I'm a believer, and I'm looking forward to helping bring these solutions to the world.
I should.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and I guess it's something that people can argue about if they want to argue about it. But I feel if you have ever taken, mushrooms in particular, and I know when we're talking about psychedelics, we're talking about a lot more than mushrooms, but the mushrooms in particular, if you've ever taken them and if you can accept or even contemplate the idea that Baba Kalindi calls the mushrooms organic artificial intelligence,
Mm.
putting those things together, you have to understand and admit that it's likely that this intelligence.
I was listening to my brother. He owns a bank. He was telling me that by the time people is like 35 years old, like most of their neurological development is done, and these are one of the few ways where you can actually change your mind as an adult to this kingdom. So I'm a believer. We believers, and it's gonna take us. Unfortunately, our people's materialistic. They people like shiny things. It's gonna take us doing what we do and presenting it in a way that is palatable to the masses to really be able to commercialize it sustainably. Because I don't think there's a problem. We gotta be the ones that commercialize it. We gotta be the ones that capitalize off of it because we got the right intentions and we got the right spirit. And believe me, if we don't, they going to, and they don't got the right intention, spirit, or mission.
Yeah, and I want to give just like a brief story for anybody who has like about why I personally can confirm and would argue that it is an artificial intelligence. So I took 7 grams like a couple of months ago, and it was like something was pushing my face to the left. And I'm not going to argue about who or what it was that was pushing, my face to the left. But eventually I just left it there. I'm in a meditative state. I'm there to commune with the medicine or whatever is going to come through. And so I stayed this way for something probably about an hour. And I had been carrying a lot of pain and tension in my neck and shoulders. And I recognized the next day that all of that was gone.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a yoga practitioner, and so I know about yin yoga and how you can like hold poses for a long time in order to shift stagnant energy. But it never would have occurred to me to just lay still with my head to the left for an hour to get that tension out of my shoulders. But the mushrooms did that for me.
Yes, I would like to add on to that, as you say, it's artificial. It's a mycelial intelligence for sure, and the body is ancient. It's ancient. You know what I mean? Your genetic code goes back to the beginning of humanity. Especially as melanated people. So with that being said, the mushrooms is doing nothing more than allowing you to tap into your own understanding of how to heal yourself. The body is meant to heal itself. So therefore, with the right movements, with the right flow and allowance of the body, such as yoga, you start to allow the body start to alleviate the energy and be able to detox any stagnant energies that are in the body. Because at the end of the day, the body is disease is rooted in inflammation and fixation. So,
Mm.
if we can start to allow ourselves to have flow within the body wherever we have restrictions at, we'll start to feel healthier and increase our well-being.
Ashe, ashe. All righty. So I'm a little frustrated that this video is not getting better, but I think it's better to just, work on the edited version later. So at this point, I would like to get back to talking about the expo,
Okay.
and I want to know, Elijah, I know this is something that you have kind of had on your heart, for maybe 10 years now. Like, and we've heard you talk a lot about what drives you, but why this expo and why now? What is compelling you to make this happen now?
I think it's kind of everything we've been talking about. There's a lot of changes are going on right now. A lot of changes in terms of consciousness, as well as in terms of financial structures and resource allocation. So With that being said, I feel like the essentials towards building up a healthy and strong community and unified community is by holding space, educating, and having fun together. When we can do that, when we can create a
Say
structure
that
that,
again, brother.
one more time,
Holding space.
holding space, educating, and having fun together. You know what I mean? Like that's the best way that we could really, start to build ourselves up. And with this though, we are going to be stronger than ever. You know what I mean? We're going to be stronger than ever, just because we are doing something that we've this is we've been this is ancient. We've been doing we did this before. We before we were broken down, we were kings and queens. And so let's reclaim the knowledge that we have within us. Let's reclaim the stuff that's been stolen from us and taken from us, and let's build something amazing and great. Let's build it. It just takes the proper resources allocated, the proper minds together to figure out how we want to make that happen.
I heard that. I heard that. And I guess in the interest of seeing if maybe we can throw a little bit more education into this, and I don't know about it, but I've heard. And then also in President's rap, he says, a trust owning a trust owning a trust owning them assets. And I've heard people talk about like not putting things in their name, and all that. Is there a way to talk a little bit about that for maybe folks who've never heard about trusts and things of that nature?
Yeah, I mean, we just talking about utilizing tools that the wealthy have been utilizing for a long time, and doing a lot of work and a lot of research, especially when I became a dad and as I was preparing to become a dad on wealth preservation. That's really what I was getting at in that line. And I will say, man, people are going to need to get them tickets to the Black Economic Forum and come meet us in person, so we can go in deep and we can really go into the trenches of the exact tools that we're utilizing and come up together. So I would just encourage people that really want to learn more, get your tickets right now. Empower 2024, Black Economic Forum, Billions of My 30s, Black Davos. It's gonna be an incredible affair, and we're looking forward to going deep, and really giving people the tools that they can utilize and we can all utilize to create that kingdom level impact.
Sure.
Ashe. So folks who are interested, please check out empower24wealthandwellness.com to get all the information about the amazing lineup. Queen Afua is coming, 19 Keys is coming, President is coming. For folks here in Denver, Phoenix Jackson is going to be there, Beverly Grant is going to be there, Asia Dorsey, myself. Like, it's really going to be a wonderful time.
Are you from Denver? Did you grow
I'm
up in
not
Denver?
from Denver, but I've been here. Well, I graduated from school up in Boulder in 1999, and then I moved down to Denver, and I've been here most of the time since.
Got it.
Yeah. All righty. Well, I think we can pretty much call this, but I just want to make space for each of you to live any kind of a message to the audience that you think, that you have on your heart to share.
I'm wishing everybody an amazing. I'm praying and we're declaring and decreeing 2024 going to be the best year of our lives, and everything that's been delayed and everything that the Most High has promised, we will manifest in 2024. It's going to be an extraordinary experience. And start to 2024 off right. Empower 2024, Black Economic Forum. Please join us in Denver, Martin Luther King Day weekend. We stand in the shoulders of ancestors, and we are the ancestors that our children and grandchildren need. Check me out at Billions in My 30s, Billions in My 30s.com, and make sure you get your tickets to the Black Economic Forum and support what we're doing with Empower 2024 and learn more about our strategic raise with Republic, allowing fans to participate in the growth of the album with my brother Mims on Republic, Billions in My 30s.com. And see you all in Denver. Happy New Year.
Yes, yes. Happy almost 2024. How about you, Elijah?
I'm just excited. At the end of the day, I'm excited for everything that's coming. This is like kind of what President just said, is we are our ancestors' wildest dreams. at the end of the day, you know. So I'm happy that this is the walk that we're making together.
I say teamwork definitely makes the dream work.
I say.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, so much for sharing some of your time and space and energy with me
Thank you.
today and with the audience. I will be getting this edited up soon to see what kind of cool clips we might have. And yes, I will see each of you Martin Luther King weekend at the latest.
Sounds
Hallelujah.
good.
See you soon.
Thank you.
Alhamdulillah.
Yes, peace.
Peace.